40-meter CW contest on the Telefunken Jubilate 5061W. Beautiful, beautiful original condition Jubilate. You can see how my modification I described in the prior YouTube video brings the lighting across the entire dial as opposed to being dark on the left side. There were a few other interesting things that I found inside. For instance, when I was on FM, it worked beautifully for an hour, but then at some point in the warm-up, it became intermittent. It was still receiving, but it was as if the RF stage stopped oscillating. I decided to open it up for an inspection of connections after I observed that this was intermittent. In other words, after a cool down and a fresh start, it was fine again. So it only seemed to happen after warm-up. So I had to dive all the way into the chassis on this side where the FM section is. There are some screws and twist tabs that you can work to gain access to the RF stage. And indeed, an original wire, originally soldered, never modified, had worked its way loose. It was apparently a cold joint, which is quite remarkable considering this is a Telefunken German-made radio, that there would be a cold solder joint. I went ahead and had to take that wire in and brush it to a shiny finish and manually resolder it in place, at which point it's perfect. So that I don't violate commercial policies, I can't really tune into any FM stations, but it does work beautifully on FM now as well. And here we can hear the 40-meter code contest. Of course, the IF is so wide that you can pick up multiple stations at once. And it's this is, remember, it has the BFO on the back. Let me turn the BFO off. That's the sound with the BFO off. And now I'll turn the BFO back on. So you can get trained to listen to each individual station by its tone and decode multiple stations at once if you get really good at it. That was a BK for back to you. And then we hear another station coming in. We can actually work them both. Let's see if we can pick up any sideband. There's the digital. Sideband should be just above that. Tuning is quite critical, of course, and it takes a very steady hand where you just barely touch and just slightly adjust the dial. I'm going to move down to 75 meters. I don't have to change bands. It's just all the way down to the left-hand side. Signals are a lot stronger there.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm trying to drive my family crazy. Well, get one of those Jabra headset things from Charlie. And you listen
I don't believe this radio has automatic gain control. So the noise floor doesn't come up. And the noise floor is very low. And the signal just kind of come up well above it.
Good enough I can hide an antenna up in the trees above the house. She would never know it until she seen the coax coming in the house somewhere.
This doesn't tune down low enough to get to 80 meter CW, but I can pick up 75 meter phone.
I haven't even tried that one yet.
Very good. So again, this has been an amazing receiver for me to work on, to do a few tweaks on, to bring back to original operating condition.
Yeah, I know.
Even some cold solder joints from original manufacturer. And it's just a beautiful radio, very enjoyable.